I just realized I had done a bunch of work on this bike and never took any video of it. Replaced the fork seals, put fresh fork oil in there, front brake pads, and boots. Put the forks front end back together. Right now, taking things apart. I'm cleaning things. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm using some Blue Magic metal polish. Works really, really well for the plastic. Look how clean this is. Cleaned all this up. The seat came out really nice. I don't know, can I show you without... Oh, I polished out the tank. Look at that. I have to get the right white. I had Chrysler white touch-up for my truck, but apparently my Dodge truck is not as white as a Suzuki white. Look at that, it's very yellow. I don't know if you can tell. However, the tank came out phenomenal. Super happy with that. I'll get a better photo here in a bit, but like I said, I think I screwed all this up. Oof, easy, buddy, easy. Let's see. Yeah, that's that dent. I don't care about the dent. I polished out the black marks in there, and again, that white doesn't match, but I'll find the correct white. It'll be a good little runner. New brakes, new tires, tuned up, fresh oil, fresh brake fluid. I'm painting the handlebars right now. I'm painting the front blinker brackets. They were a little bent, they were funky. I'm painting this rear rack. This is going a hammered brown, which is pretty close to what the original color was. I'm tempted to paint the exhaust, but I don't know that I will. These are black, of course. Oh yeah, I ended up, oh, hold on. So it's Friday, June 3rd, 6:38 p.m. And I've just kind of been chipping away at this thing coming home from work and messing with it. These are the grips I'm going to run. These are the exact same grips I run on my Harley. I like these. Pro Taper Full Diamond Soft Compound Black. These are like 15 bucks on eBay. And I dig them. They're very, very comfortable for me. So those are the grips. Tomorrow's Saturday. I've got like half a day tomorrow to mess with this. So I've got everything in paint right now inside the shop, drying, curing. Oh, and then I went on the old eBay and I found some like universal turn signals. These were $5 a piece. I don't know if you remember. Well, this is all going to be looped into one giant video. I'm not going to stretch it out over several videos, but the one on, I can't even remember now, I think it was this side, was busted, and the guy like epoxied it. The time it was going to take me to smooth that epoxy out and then paint them, eventually painting all four of them to match, that was just ridiculous. For 20 bucks, I got these guys here. They're a little smaller, but they will work just fine. It'll be a little more low profile. And then with the bracket, they'll fit in the front and they'll clear this front cowling. So, yeah. 10 signals. She still runs like a champ. I think, no, I'm not even going to mess with it right now. I would start it, but I pulled the straps off. The stabilizing straps, these cargo straps, were on the handlebars and the cargo rack. And it's relatively unstable, and I'm surprised I haven't knocked it off. So, 6:38. I've got probably an hour and a half of sunlight left. I got like 3 coats of paint. 1 coat of primer, 3 coats of paint on the brackets and the handlebars. Those are in the shop drying. I've got 1 coat of primer and 2 coats of the hammered brown on this rear car. Oh, I can show you. I'll show you. Let's go for a walk. We'll go for a walk. So this is pretty similar to what the original one was. It was actually probably a little more golden, I guess. But I'm going to dust it out with one more dusting of Rust-Oleum Hammered. Okay, it's still Friday night. I had to do these little pads. So the factory ones have got little rubber strips here. So I have a bunch of chunks of neoprene. This is 1/4 inch thick neoprene that we use this at work to make flaps. We buy a giant roll of it and we cut the flaps that we need. So there's always chunks of cutoffs and stuff that I just don't like throwing in the trash. We keep a stack of the cutoffs because we use it for other pads and whatnot. But I got a couple pieces of the throwaway chunks, 1/4 inch thick, spray glue. This was the first one that I cut, and I made it a little too short, tapered. Yeah, so I'm going to stick these down on here, and goofy little details. Okay, that's better. So I'm going to let this set overnight. I probably, again, this is completely captured within the confines of that rear rack, and this actually sits below the pipe rack, which makes the most sense. So you're putting weight on the rack and not on the fender. I don't know why these are even here, quite honestly, but they look better than empty spots. And I'm sure I can buy these in the aftermarket world. I just didn't feel like doing that. I may come in tomorrow with some light sandpaper and just kind of, stupid, I know, stupid, I know. But those are the dumb little details. Oh, that's cool though. The dumb details, but they're cool. Okay. Oh yeah, so it's the next morning. I got the turn signals mounted, the painted brackets reinstalled, just have to wire them, solder and heat shrink. Got the handlebars put back, there's the tank polished. That's Chrysler white versus Suzuki white, huge difference. It's nice, it's just Rust-Oleum rattle can. Got the new grips installed, super happy. These are ugly, hey buddy, these are funky, but they're so funky I think I'm going to keep them. Look at how, it's just, so I'm going to scrub these up, paint these by hand, because I don't feel like undoing them completely. But got the new grips on, got the lumber rack on, cargo rack on. Those are those rubber strips I glued down last night. And then that's how this plays out. I like those, because the other ones, you know, stuck out to like here. Honestly, maybe here. Okay, maybe here. So they stuck way out, as did the front ones. So I'm going to wire these guys up. I'll bring you back when I got some electricity running through them. Well, this is as far as I can go with the parts I have on hand. Still waiting on that rear sprocket. But I do like how the smaller lights look. Super digging that. I am going to clean, and maybe I'll do that today, we'll see. I've got to go cut grass and stuff. I got some other chores to do, but cleaned all this up, the top of the triple tree up, painted the bars, of course. Super happy with how this came out. Super, super happy with how this bike's come out so far. Totally worth what I didn't pay for this thing, and I didn't pay a lot of money for this thing. I'm into it now for about 350 bucks. I like that. Yeah, probably 350 bucks, because this was 20. I think I was at 295. This was 20 bucks, and then I had to buy fork seals. Those were like 18 bucks for fork seals. So that still keeps me under 350 bucks to make this bike look like this. Give everything a quick detail. It's like a detail for retail. I think this thing will, I think it looks real nice. Super happy. Super happy. Oh yeah. So this is how the bike shakes out. I got 138 miles on this thing. I've ridden it to work a few times. I'm actually having a lot of fun with it. There are 3 things I need to do. I forgot the first thing. Idiot. Getting it up on the freeway, doing freeway speeds, all different types of driving, city driving, stop and go, whatnot. I realized the clutch needs to be replaced. The clutch is slipping. High speed, like on the freeway, 5th gear. I give it throttle, and I'm probably doing 60 or so, right? I give it some throttle to try to get up to what traffic is doing, which is 70, 75. The clutch will like scream forward a little bit, about 1,000 or 1,200 RPM, and then I've got to back off the throttle a little bit and kind of ease it up to get it to the speed I want. So at higher speeds, higher RPMs, the clutch is slipping. It's not this. I was hoping that maybe, oh, it's just a cable adjustment, right? I'm Pollyanna. But it's not, right? I've got that much cable play. It's supposed to be a few millimeters, or basically the equivalent of a US nickel, right? That's a good rule of thumb, and that's the slack I have. So I don't have, where is it? There it is. You know, this thing's got plenty of return on it. It's not the cable, unfortunately. That's one. Two. These new turn signals, I really like them. What I don't like about them, and I may have mentioned this in an earlier video, because I'm taking this over the course of several days or a couple of weeks, and it's all going to kind of be burped together into one quick video. But I don't like the rapid flash. And now that I say, excuse me, I just ate a burrito. Now that I say rapid flash, I believe that I have talked about it. I don't like this. This is 2 flashes per second, or roughly 120 flashes per minute. I don't care for it. It's bright enough. I mean, this thing is, these little light bulbs are bright enough, but that flasher's angry, right? So that's a solid state mechanical tick, 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 tick flasher thing. And I went ahead. This is fine. There's nothing not legal about this flash pattern. This is not going to get me pulled over. You know, I don't like I don't like 120 flashes per minute. So I went on the old eBays and I got a solid state adjustable flasher that's designed for LEDs. It can handle up to 40 watts. These light bulbs are 3 watts each, so it's 6 per side. So the flasher is easy. It's a direct replacement. The flasher's under here. It's a 2-post or a 2-blade flasher, which is super easy. And I'll turn it down to about 50 flashes a minute, or roughly a flash per second. A little slower than that, but 50 flashes a minute, which I'm gonna like much better. And for $4, that was a no-brainer. So I have to do a clutch, I have to do that. Oh, and I have to do the kickstand. So you'll remember when I got this thing, this bike, I'm the 3rd owner. If you know, a quick backstory, I'm the 3rd owner. The original owner was a shorter fella. He had dropped the fork tubes about 1 3/4 inches, almost 2 full inches, and then he had the preload nut on the rear shock all the way up, which dropped this bike probably 1 3/4 inches to 2 inches. Unfortunately, what he did, the second owner didn't do anything with the bike. He bought this thinking it would be a COVID project. He bought it in October of 2020, thought, yay, I got a COVID project, I'm going to be a dual sport guy, and then put it in his shed and did nothing with it for a year until his wife said, get it out. And then I bought it. So I'm the 3rd owner, and I'm tall. I'm 6'2". I want this thing tall, and I want it back at its stock height. But unfortunately, what the original owner did, and you can see here, there's a weld bead around here, looks like they chopped out a couple inches of the kickstand, because this kickstand, this bike lays way over. Look at that on a this is level patio. That thing that's way over. And then if I were ever on a hill and the kickstand was on the downside, it's going to fall over. So that's going to be project number 3, is to cut that out. I'll cut this section, this welded section out. I'm going to get on the lathe and lay the slug. That adds probably 2 inches. I got to kind of get this close to upright. It'll be between 1.5 inches and a 2-inch slug. All super easy stuff. I've got the material in stock with the lathe. This is a hollow tube. With a solid slug, I can cut that foot and kick that up 1.5 inches to 2 inches to help raise this thing up and just make it less this. But that's it. Other than that, it's been a really fun bike. I've ridden it to work several times. Ridden it around town quite a bit. Like I said, I put 136 miles on it, and so far everything's holding up nice. The brakes, the wheels, the forks feel really good now that I've got them up to their stock height, and I got fresh oil in there and seals and what's not. I did add a voltmeter similar to that little logic board that I have in the Toyota. I showed you when I put the engine in the Toyota. I just tied this into the dash light. And I hot glued it in here in between the gauges, just because I like to see voltage. I don't know, I'm a funny guy, right? So I like to watch. I'd like to make sure the alternator, or in this case the stator, is working, that we're still charging, and everything is good. Okay, I think this is going to conclude the compilation of getting this 1994 DR650 Suzuki on the road. Thanks for watching. Gotta go, gotta run. See you.